Hello all. In this video, we'll be discussing about LeetCode problem number 383, that is ransom note. So here you are given two strings, ransom note and magazine, and you have to determine whether ransom note can be constructed by using letters from magazine. If it can be, then you have to return true, otherwise you have to return false. For example, in the first case, ransom note cannot be constructed using magazine characters, so that's why the output is false. Whereas in the second case, ransom note characters can be built using characters from magazine, so that's why the output is true. The simple and naive approach in this can be that we have to find each and every character for ransom note in magazine, and if we found one, then we have to remove it from the magazine. So it can be like we have found an A in magazine, so that's why we'll be removing it from the magazine. Now amongst the leftovers, we will be looking for next characters. So now again there is a and we have found another A here, so we'll be removing that. B, yes, we have found a B and we will be removing that as well. And the last character E, we have found that and we will be removing this. So since we have reached the end of the ransom note and we have found all the characters here, so that's why we'll be returning an output of true. However, this is not the most efficient approach as the time complexity for this will be m into n, since we have to find the elements and we have to remove that as well. So the next efficient approach can be, what we can do is we can create a frequency counter for each element of magazine. So as of now, we have just initialized the array from A to F, since the domain is this only in the magazine. However, it can be extended to maximum 26 characters. So as of now, for example purposes, we have just initialized it from A to F and all the frequencies are 0 at the start. So now we'll be traversing each character of magazine and we'll be incrementing the count respectively. So as of now, A has occurred one time, so it will be 1. The second A we have encountered, it will be plus 1, that is 2. Then B, it is 1. C, it is again 1. D is 1. E is 1. And F is 1. So these are the final frequency counts of the magazine characters. Now we'll be going for ransom note and we'll be seeing whether these elements can be constructed using magazine characters or not. So we have found our first A. So that's why now what we'll be doing is we'll be decrementing its count by 1. And if at any point of time we encounter a value that is less than 0, then we can say the output is false. So we have encountered our first A, so we'll be decrementing it by 1. So the value will be 1. Now we have encountered our second A. Again, we'll be doing -1, so it will be 0 now. For the B, we'll be directly going to the syntax of B and we'll be decrementing its count by 1, so it will be 0. And in this case, E will be decrementing its count by 1, so it will be 0. Since we have traversed to the last of the ransom note and we haven't encountered a value that was less than 0, so that's why we can say the output is true. Otherwise, at any point of time, if we must have encountered a value less than 0, then we can say that our output is false since we are not having sufficient elements. So the time complexity for this can be, since we have constructed an array of this, so we can say this is O of m, plus we have just looked at the index wise the ransom node elements as well, so we can say O of m plus n. Since we assume m is very greater than n, so that's why the time complexity for this will be O of m. Now when we are coming to space complexity, then at the maximum it can stretch to 26 only, so that's why we can say it is O of k, or since it is a constant value we can also call it O of 1. So now let's directly go to the code. So here is the code. First of all, we have initialized an array of 26 characters and we have initialized each of its value as 0. Then we have gone for each character in magazine and we have mapped its frequency to the respective place there and we have incremented it accordingly. Then we have gone for each character in ransom note and we have decremented the count. Now we have checked if the count at any point of time becomes less than 0, then we have to return false. Otherwise, if this loop completely runs smoothly and there is no returning of false in between, then we can say that all of the characters of ransom note were sufficient and present in magazine. So that's why at the end we can just return a true. So that was the code. That's all from my side. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.